Boots on the ground and boats in the water this morning. Family and friends fiercely search for a missing loved one after a boat capsized in an Arklatex lake. We'll tell you what happened and where. Texas House Democrats were able to stop a strict voting bill from passing over the weekend, but will it be enough? We'll tell you what Governor Greg Abbott plans to do to limit early voting hours ahead.
Moderna is the latest drug company to file for full FDA approval as infections decrease across the nation. I'm Elise Preston with a look at why experts say time is still critical to get millions more vaccinated.
Broadcasting live, KSLA News 12 starts now.
Happening right now, more than 100 family and friends are searching alongside law enforcement for a missing teen who vanished after falling into Lake Bistineau. Good morning, I'm Adria Goins. That lake is a popular spot in the Arklatex for boating, picnics, and hiking. It's near Bossier City, Houghton, and Shreveport. You can see it there on your screen. One teen was rescued, however, in this incident, but there have been no signs of a second one. We're told two teens were fishing in that area when their boat capsized. Here's a look at the massive response you can see there on your screen. Bossier Parish Sheriff, along with Bienville Parish Sheriff's Office, Wildlife and Fisheries, and fire and medics from both parishes were on scene for hours Tuesday evening. Coming up in our next half hour, Christian Picos joins us live from the Lake Bistineau area where that search continues this morning. We'll hear new details from the Bossier Parish Sheriff's Office on why this is a rescue effort, recovery effort rather, and not a rescue effort. A lot going on there this morning. We're going to keep you posted. Chilly night turns violent as police work another deadly shooting. This one happening in Shreveport's Allendale neighborhood. Just before 1 o'clock this morning, police rushed to this area right here on your screen to a shots fired call. This is on Ford Street at North Holtzman. This is near Lincoln Park. Shreveport police tell us when officers arrived, they found a man dead in the street with apparent gunshot wounds. According to Shreveport police, moments later, two other men showed up at a nearby hospital with gunshot wounds in the arm. Right now, police are working to learn if the shootings are connected. Coming up in our next half hour, KSLA News 12's Christian Picos joins us live with the latest details on this latest shooting in Shreveport. We sent out an alert when this happened. As soon as we learn more information about this triple shooting, we will post updates on our KSLA News 12 app. We begin with breaking news this morning. Two shootings nearly an hour apart last night in Shreveport and a massive duplex fire. The latest shooting, let's get to that first. It happened on Walker Road around 10:45. Police on scene tell us two cars were shooting at each other near the intersection of Jewella and Hollywood Avenues. The man then crashed nearby on Walker Road right across from the Shreveport Regional Airport. That man is expected to be okay. Police do not have a description of the other vehicle involved. About an hour before that, shots rang out less than 5 miles away on Bethmune Drive. Shreveport police say a woman was shot in the foot. She was taken to a hospital and expected to be okay as well. At this hour, there was no word on a gunman or a suspect. And just down the street from our KSLA News 12 studios, take a look at this massive fire. Shreveport firefighters worked to put out these flames in Shreveport's historic Fairfield district. Firefighters responded to reports of the fire at a duplex, a two-story duplex on Fairfield Avenue and Kirby. This was around 11:15 last night. A couple who lived in the top duplex said they barely made it out with their dog. And two people living on the bottom apartment, they said they made it out safely. There's no word on the cause of the fire this morning.
KSLA News 12 starts with breaking news.
We are following breaking news right now in Texarkana, Texas. The driver of an 18-wheeler allegedly lost control of this big rig, flipping the truck before it burst into flames. Take a look at video from the scene along Interstate 30 just after 1:30 this morning. We're told the crash happened in a construction zone. It's causing a major traffic headache this morning in the westbound lanes. Traffic, it's being diverted at Summer Hill Road. Texarkana police and state troopers are on the scene this morning. Of course, we'll continue to monitor that as your morning commute gets underway. Going to cause some problems for drivers. Also, while you were sleeping, one man is fighting for his life this morning after a shooting in Shreveport's Moortown neighborhood just hours ago. Shreveport police responded to Broadway Avenue. This happened right after midnight. One man was shot in the chest while in his car by someone in a passing vehicle. 2 other people in the car were not hit. The victim's injuries are considered life-threatening. Also new this morning, a jury sentenced a Baton Rouge man to 2 life sentences in a Caddo court. This is 52-year-old Gentry Vinson, who was convicted of numerous sex charges in May and will serve his sentences without the possibility of parole. His convictions include aggravated rape and molestation of a juvenile. Thanks for joining us for KSLA News 12 this morning on your Wednesday. I'm Adria Goins. The heat continues to be a burden for many of us across the Arklatex. Could there be some relief on the way? I say this is a burden for us, but man, I'm sure glad I'm not in the Pacific Northwest. Also, by the way, we got to say congratulations to our newly certified meteorologist, Andrew Brightman. Congrats, Andrew.
Thank you so much, Adria. You know, my dad's a CPA. I get to be a CBM. I'm following in the footsteps just like my father. So, yeah, excited about it. Not too excited, though, about the heat and humidity that we're dealing with this morning across the Arklatex and what we're going to be seeing this afternoon. But the good news is not tracking any triple-digit feels-like temperatures later on today, so we got that going for us. But you'll definitely be noticing the mugginess later on today. Right now, temperature stepping out the door, 74 Shreveport, 75 Texarkana, 70 in Marshall, 72 to Queen. It's a warm and muggy start out there. Hairdo forecasts right in between hairspray and ponytail territory. So again, you'll notice that air as you head out the door this morning. Morning forecast, we see those temperatures move on up into the mid-80s. Nothing to worry about again as you're going to be heading on into work on your Wednesday. Now coming up in a few minutes with your full first alert 7-day forecast, talking about pop-up afternoon showers again today when the front starts to move through the Arklatex, and also increasing activity that we're watching in the tropics.
All right, Andrew, thanks so much. We have a first alert traffic closure to make you aware of this morning, starting in just a few hours. At 7 o'clock this morning, one lane of the LA 538 bridge over Caddo Lake in Mooringsport will close. You can see a look at it here on your screen. This lane closure is expected to last until 3 o'clock this afternoon. One lane of the road will still be open, but drivers can also use LA 169 or Highway 1 as an alternate route. On the COVID road to recovery, the Delta variant could be weeks away from becoming the most dominant variant in the country. Health experts say it spreads more easily and could be more dangerous. U.S. health leaders are working together to ramp up global vaccine distribution. More than 46% of people have been fully vaccinated. Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi are among the states with the lowest vaccination rates.
We have seen a 300% increase in the numbers of patients hospitalized here, so a threefold increase over the last 3 to 4 weeks.
Either you get vaccinated and you're exposed, so you're protected, or you don't get vaccinated and you're exposed and you get COVID and you take your chances.
For weeks now, Arkansas watched COVID numbers steadily rise and vaccination numbers fall across the state. Governor Asa Hutchinson said Tuesday, since January 26th, more than 3,700 people have been hospitalized due to COVID-19, and 98% of them were not vaccinated. 9 out of 10 Arkansans who now have COVID are not fully vaccinated. The governor admitted the free lottery ticket as an incentive to get shots did not take off as hoped.
To be an effective incentive, it has to be immediate gratification, and that was delayed in this instance. But even beyond that, Ohio, which probably had one of the most successful incentive programs, they canceled theirs. They canceled their lottery because it had an initial splash and effective period of time, but then it declined.
Louisiana just started its lottery incentive program. The state is offering 4 $100,000 cash prizes and a $1 million grand prize. Those under 18 can get $100,000 in scholarship money. After a school year marred by the pandemic, Texas released its spring standardized test results. The results show reading and math scores fell to their lowest points in years. Other states are expected to release data in the coming weeks, but experts warn that low participation rates in some places could leave entire states with unreliable data. The Supreme Court voted 5-4 to uphold the CDC's eviction moratorium until its expiration date on July 31st. Justice Brett Kavanaugh joined the 4 liberal justices to keep the ban in place. The moratorium prevents landlords from evicting tenants who aren't paying rent because of the coronavirus pandemic. The Biden administration does not expect another extension. The search for survivors continues in Surfside, Florida this morning after part of a condo collapsed last week. You can see them. New video from overnight searchers as they arrive for their shift. 12 people now confirmed dead. 149 are still unaccounted for. But each day we are hearing more harrowing stories of survival. Britt Conway has those stories.
Weather Day.
The Arctic blasts into the Arklatex. Ice and snow blanket much of the area. As you can see here, several roads across the area are closed this morning due to the winter weather, including major highways and interstates. We have live team coverage for you this morning.
Christian Picos is following travel and traffic. Meteorologist Andrew Brightman will join us in 1 minute with a look at where that snow is right now.
Let's also take a look at the conditions out right now in Texarkana this morning. This is the most impressive shot we have for you this morning. This is from our own Fred Gamble. He's been watching as the snow has just totally wiped out the roadways there. We were able to see parts of it around 4:30, now just blanketing all across the roadways. Dangerous driving conditions there.
Yeah, the accumulation is real out there. And we're going to take a look also at what the conditions look like in Bossier this morning. We're going to go to Jessica Moore standing by out there to look at the wintry weather. She'll join us in just a moment, but we're going to stand by for Andrew Brightman. He's ready to go with this forecast. You've actually been monitoring this all this weekend and going into this morning.
You know what, Tom? This morning, I've been also over the weekend, I keep on thinking about the shade I threw at Punxsutawney Phil a few weeks ago.
I just posted
Boy,
something.
were you wrong.
And how much I regret doing that this morning.
He said what he said.
I will never question the groundhog again. I teased him a little bit saying how could he say he saw a shadow when it was snowing in Punxsutawney.
Did you know tomorrow is the first day of National Hurricane Preparedness Week? Even though the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season doesn't start until June 1st, Governor John Bel Edwards is urging you to get a game plan now. It's never too early. Some hurricane supplies you want to start grabbing include a 3 to 5 day supply of water, a first aid kit, plus hand sanitizer and disinfectant. And for that full list, head on over to www.getagameplan.com. Now, last year's hurricane season was a record-setting one. There were 30 named storms and 12 landfalling storms, 3 of which landed right here in Louisiana. Now, Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle is back with me. And Jeff, can you give us a preview of what to expect this season?
Yeah, Kenley, we've actually got one forecast that has come out suggesting perhaps an above-average season. 17 named storms, 8 hurricanes, maybe 4 major ones. Of course, what these don't tell you, these forecasts do not tell you the ones that will make landfall. And of course, that is really the big thing. You can have a season with not many storms, but maybe one big one that makes landfall to make it a memorable season. Or we can have one like last year where we had just so many storms, one right after the other.
All right, well, thanks so much, Jeff. Now, meanwhile, the first tropical storm of the 2021 Eastern Pacific hurricane season formed off the coast of Mexico today. Experts say it's a little ahead of schedule. The first day of that season begins next Saturday. In fact, it's setting records as the earliest tropical storm to ever form since forecasters started using satellite information.
Good morning. It's 4:30. Thanks for joining us for KSLA News 12 this morning. The rain crept in early this morning for parts of the Arklatex. We're taking a look right now at our first alert live Doppler. You can see more rain coming across the Arklatex as well. The overnight storms caused major damage in one Shreveport neighborhood. This is on Dole's Place in the Anderson Island neighborhood. 2 trees fell, waking up neighbors and causing quite a stir. One fell onto a home with a family inside. They did get out unharmed. The other tree brought down power lines. There are thousands without power in the Arklatex right now. In the next 30 minutes, we'll take a look at the number of people left in the dark. Let's take a live look right now along I-20 at Traffic Street, looking into downtown Shreveport. You can see the raindrops there on the camera. We're still seeing rain across parts of the Arklatex as well. Today kicks off Mud Bug Madness in Shreveport, which is not far from that shot. And that's where we find meteorologist Andrew Brightman this morning. How's it looking for Mud Bug Madness, Andrew?
All right, welcome back, everyone. Down here at the Festival Plaza for Mud Bug Madness. I'm going to be talking to some people here about the great event that's coming up later on today, but also I want to talk about your Memorial Day weekend forecast. I know many of you are making plans, and some of you could be the first time you're making some outdoor plans and traveling in the better part of a year. Temperatures on your Saturday are going to be up in the upper
Cicadas are flying off the shelves as a Maryland chocolate shop, dipping the insects in chocolate to make sweets and crunchy treats. Yeah. Sarah Dower, she makes these chocolates. She started coating cicadas in chocolates and selling them earlier this year at her shop. Her new chocolate shop spends much of the year selling romantic and timely chocolates. It has a 5-day backlog, however, for these cicada orders.
But when you combine the chocolate, the cinnamon, and the nuttiness of the bugs, it really gives you that like holiday feeling when you're walking around a big city and they're roasting nuts on the sidewalk and you have that cinnamon smell. It's really what it tastes like.
I don't believe you, lady. I don't believe you. She says it's her chance to get more familiar with one type of protein she thinks will be a lot more popular. No.
When she was talking about the nuttiness, Adria, I was like, yeah, the nuttiness of this whole idea. Can we just cancel the different cicada stuff? Because we're hearing more and more about this, the first bloom in 17 years. In fact, Adria, I was actually in Maryland, little First Alert meteorologist Andrew Brightman, when I was 12 years old for a baseball tournament back in 2004. The last time they had this whole cicada event. It is extremely loud. It was insane. It was like nothing I've ever heard of in my life. So the whole cicada thing, it's real. I will say, though, not planning on eating them anytime soon.
Welcome back. It's never too late to give up on a dream, and that's exactly what this 70-year-old grandmother did. Back in 1961, 10-year-old Gwen Goldman wrote a letter to the New York Yankees explaining why she wanted to be the Batgirl. Unfortunately, she was turned down because she would have felt uncomfortable in a male-dominated dugout. But 60 years later, she was invited to be a Batgirl. She says it's an honor, and even getting to hang out with people like Garrett Cole, take out the lineup card, and throw out the first pitch was awesome.
You see, it was worth writing that letter. It was worth having that hope. It was worth pursuing it and trying it. And even if you didn't get it at first, you know the old saying, you just keep on.
Well, she certainly kept on going. The Yankees plan to continue reaching out to families and other individuals worthy of recognition and support. And also worthy of recognition is my main man, Andrew. I don't know if John can pull up your super graphic, but it is really awesome to see your AMS. Look at that right there.
So sweet, Adria. Thank you so much.
That is so awesome.
Thank you. I was going to say, though, really cool story up in New York, even though the Yankees suck. I'm just, happy. I'm happy she got to live out her dream doing that. I think it'd be a much cooler experience to be the bat boy or bat girl for the Boston Red Sox. But